Oseo.
Oseo.
It has been said that Walt Whitman lives in virtually every line of poetry and song lyric penned in America since the publication of his Leaves of Grass. It's hard to imagine Woody Guthrie or Allen Ginsberg or Bob Dylan without this poet of democracy. And the Henry Thoreau of Walden Pond lives in the heart of every environmentalist, as well as every writer who probes the wonders of nature, from Rachel Carson and Gary Snyder to Mary Oliver and Annie Dillard. Whitman's poems are pure bhakti, or bhajans, devotional songs, and the earth is his temple. By sacralizing nature and human flesh, he set the poetic template for a homegrown tantra, the stream of Vedic spirituality that directs sensory experience towards spiritual realization. Diane Ackerman, author and poet on we call PBS Radio, she did a reading of his, and the leaves of grass are still growing and still inspiring. Quoting, she said, "He taught us a way of beholding nature, which is itself a form of prayer." So I have a theme of deer. It's going to be a poem going to be of hers, but also to momentarily mention of the deer culture. Two of the people in the world living today are the Huichol people of the Sierra Madre. They are a Hebrew-speaking people who are definitely pre-Columbian in their culture. And they have a principal mythic deer, Mashakwashi, that is deer tail, who guides them. The shaman, the Marakami, actually hunts the peyote with a bow and arrow as the footprints of the deer. The peyote is the sacrament, and the deer is the sacrifice. That is, he gives up his flesh and blood so that we might have our life. Barbara Meyerhoff, of anthropologist of Southern California, she did a principal study on the Huichols. Also, following that, she also did a study of the Jewish community in Venice, California. The other people are called the Yaquis, and a lot of nonsense has been made up about that, and that's a Spanish name, Yaqui. Their name is Yoahemi. They are actually descendants of Coptic people of Egypt. Their name, Yoahemi, is Egyptian for the old venerable people. And they have a totally different culture of the deer. The Huyaniya, the wilderness place in the Seonia, that is the flower world. And they're entering into an enchantment, an utter enchantment. The fawn who lives under Blue Mountain's hidden patio. And all of that, the deer is very, very magical, we would say. So it's a very different kind of culture, for the deer. Now I'm going to read a Mary Oliver poem. "5 a.m. in the pine woods. I'd seen their hoof prints in the deep, needles and knew they ended the long night under the pines, walking like two mute and beautiful women toward the deeper woods. So I got up in the dark and went there. They came down the hill slowly and looked at me sitting under the blue trees. Shyly, they stepped closer and stared from under their thick eyelashes and even nibbled some damp tassels of weeds. This is not a poem about a dream, though it could be. This is a poem about the world that is ours, or could be. Finally, one of them, I swear it, would have come to my arms, but the other stamped sharp hoof in the pine needles like the tap of sanity. And they went off together through the trees. When I woke, I was alone. I was thinking, so this is how you swim inward. So this is how you flow outward. So this is how you pray, to go back into that waving forest, so quick and wet.
Hmm.